So, for this reading today, I want you to think about it just for yourself. When I was at a retreat a couple weeks ago, the speaker said, I want you to think about this for just yourself. Because a lot of times we think, oh, I need to tell this person about that, or this person needs to know that because this is going on in their lives. But I want you to think this just for yourself and how this relates to you. So the verse is 2 Timothy 2:23 through 24. Don't have anything to do with foolish and stupid arguments, because you know they produce quarrels. And the Lord's servant must not be quarrelsome, but must be kind to everyone, able to teach, not resentful. What kind of stuck out to me on that was the Lord's servant must not be quarrelsome, but must be kind to everyone. And that got me thinking about our words and other verses that come up about what we say and how we interact with people. And Ephesians 4:29, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. And then Philippians 2:14, do everything without grumbling or arguing. Philippians 4:5, let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. And Proverbs 15:1, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. And so, especially I'm doing this video shortly after the election time, and there's just a lot of words being said and a lot of arguments, a lot of opinions being shared. Some happy, some mad, some sad, all the things. And in thinking about this, in our conversations with each other, are we more motivated to prove we are right? Is it that our cause or our passion is more important than any soul sitting across from us or on the screen in front of us? I know in the movies, and I'm right there too, when I watch a movie and the guy gets, he realizes, oh, the other person was right, and you're cheering for the good guy who, he was right, he won, or he put it in the other person's face, and you're like, yes, and like in your face kind of thing. And while we watched it in the movies and that can be fun, that really does translate a lot to our attitudes of how when we have a position we stand on or a cause, and somebody disagrees with us or has a different opinion, we get so like, oh, but did you know? And we throw it in their face, and when we're maybe proven right, we like, yeah, like you want to throw it in their face, like I told you so. But here's the thing. We have to remember that our struggle is not against flesh and blood. In Ephesians 6:12, it talks about this. So it's not our neighbor, it's not a relative or friend or coworker that is our enemy in this. Whether it's politics, whether it's whatever kind of discussion you're having, with somebody who has a differing opinion, they are not our enemy ever. Jesus died for every single person on this earth, and he wants all to be saved. So our heart posture needs to be loving. And that doesn't naturally come easily for us a lot of times, especially with those whom we disagree. We, more than working or arguing our point, we need to be praying for our hearts and those we encounter. A lot of times when I have been in situations where I could tell my heart is hard towards that person, or it's becoming hard towards that person because of what they're saying, I pray, God, pour your love into me and out to this person. And sometimes hearing their story helps a lot with my answer being gentle. One of the situation that I recently heard of somebody who was in a conversation with those who were younger than her, and they were talking about some heated things that my friend disagreed and had very different opinions than these young girls who were talking. And she very much could have been disagreeing and putting out facts and saying like, yeah, but this, and what about this, and does this, and arguing about points that really are not life and death points. But instead of doing that, she responded in gentleness, saying her answer, saying her position, giving a different perspective. Well, maybe something you don't know is that, and she gave it well. She gave it with love, and that's all she said. And then they continued on with their conversation. And in the moment, was that person, or were those young girls won over to her side of the argument? I don't know, and I think probably not. But they saw her response, and she has this relationship with these young girls that over time, they're going to see that these young girls are loved no matter what their opinions are. And they're going to see that this friend of mine is a Christian and loves them despite any differences that they have. And so it's their long-term relationship that doesn't involve arguing over the little things and having disagreements and shouting their opinions, because our heart posture is so humble and gentle and loving. And so I think that the verse, going back to the verse that the 2 Timothy verse, the Lord's servant, the part of that stuck to me, the Lord's servant must not be quarrelsome, but must be kind to everyone. I think in our response to people, especially in today's day and age, especially on our phones or screens on the computer, being gentle and kind and loving, and not getting caught up in arguments over silly things, or even important things, but having conversations in love and gentleness.